Neil Druckmann, Neil Druckmann, Neil Druckmann. So, Neil decided to share with us, the gamers, who have widely supported his last two Last of Us games, right? Even though there was a lot of controversy behind The Last of Us 2, the way that game began, and off of such great success of The Last of Us, the first game, that was the direction that he decided to go in. And I didn't understand the ploy, the plot. I thought there was maybe a bigger grand scheme that he was attempting to go with, or he had something that he was going to reveal to us that, hey, this is going to be an ongoing series. There's going to be several parts to this because we got part one. Now this is part two. So you would just assume that there's going to be a part three. At least that's what I did. Well, Neil decided to tell us that we shouldn't be looking forward to Last of Us Part 3 because he has no intentions on making that game. And, you know, with all of the success of the TV series, we're going into season 2 with Last of Us, the TV series, and all of the money, the development, the effort, the fan support. He's deciding to kill off this franchise in such a way that I've never seen ever in my life. You know how many game studios would love to have an IP that is beloved the way The Last of Us is beloved? You know, people, really felt, touched by these characters that were created in this game that we spent hours with, playing with and getting to know, and their quirkiness, the things that piss them off, the things that make them laugh, the things that make them cry. And I get it, this is all just entertainment. But at the end of the day, you want to be profitable. You also want to be successful. You also want to touch a chord with the gamers with these stories that you tell. And Last of Us, for me, and I'm sure others, this was one of those games. At least once a year, I go back and play The Last of Us 1 and The Last of Us 2. Not only am I trophy hunting and shit, but I just enjoy the story. And now to hear that he has no intentions on making this game, or, it's just so disappointing. You promised us, the consumers, The Last of Us Factions, which was supposed to be a multiplayer game. This was allegedly a game that Naughty Dog was working on after The Last of Us 2. And we was like, okay, well, let's give it some time, because The Last of Us 1 came with a multiplayer faction experience. So to hear that they're making an actual faction, or a multiplayer Last of Us world, I was looking forward to that. I was like, there might be some bite to that bark there. And we waited for years. We only seen like let's say studio art that they released of possibly, an area of the game that you may visit during your experience. And then to come to find out that they canceled that. So you got to say, well, God damn, what's going on here? You have a, you got your own lane. You got an IP that people clearly want to play and experience and enjoy and get back into, and you're just refusing to invest or, give the consumers what they want, one may say. And I thought that's what companies are here to do. Give the consumers what they want. If they want more of this, then you give them more of that. That's how you stay afloat. That's how you stay successful. And that's how you stay profitable. But to me, it seemed like he just doesn't even want the IP anymore. he doesn't give a damn about what direction the IP going. He's just like, yo, don't be looking for The Last of Us 3 because more likely than not, in so many words, right? I'm not making it. It's not coming. It's not going to happen. But yet and still I hear The Last of Us TV series, after season 2, there's going to be a season 3 and possibly more likely than not a season 4. So then if you're going to create new stories in the actual shows or the seasons to come in the future, why wouldn't you just create a Last of Us 3 game that mirrors that, if that's the direction that you want to go in? That would make the most logical sense. Well, let me release The Last of Us 3 now. We're going into season 2, so then we can take away from The Last of Us 3 and put in season 3 of the TV show and put that content in there. And then, hey, if you want to call it quits at that point, you can call it quits at that point. But the way The Last of Us 2 ended, with Ellie and Abby in the water, and Ellie basically letting Abby go and live, it just didn't bring closure to me at all. It didn't bring closure or satisfaction to the story that I experienced in the first 2 games. Now check it out, right? This is when I say their Naughty Dog's new space game, right? I don't know who asked for this. I don't know who want this. I don't even know what this is going to be about. Is it open world? Is it linear? Is it co-op? Is it single player? Like, what is this? When is it coming out? And what makes you think it's going to sell? See, with The Last of Us 2, you was able to beat the same drum because it was a continuation of The Last of Us 1. So you knew you're going to get new characters, but you're going to get the same core characters that you enjoy, that you love. You're going to spend time in the same universe. But what is this? Who asked for this? Was it Intergalactic or something like that? They call this shit? Yeah, Intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet. I don't want this. Because I don't know what it is. That's why I'm saying I don't want it. And if you're going to cancel or you're not going to make The Last of Us 3 and you're going to be pushing this, well, then you're going to have to show us more than the goddamn trailer then. What you ought to should have did was showed us or gave more of an explanation on what this game actually is, what you're going to be doing in it, why gamers should be interested in it, and what it involves around. It looked like another story-driven game where you have to get to know a completely new character and you don't know their plot, but I don't know anything about this. All right, they carry a gun. What are they, a space marine? Are they a space mercenary? You get to fly ships, land on different planets. I don't know where Naughty Dog is going with this. But my thing is, it didn't have to go here. Because it's like having, like myself, right? I have a crazy backlog of games. So every now and then, if there's a game that comes out that I really want, like I'm going to get Assassin's Creed Shadows, I believe, right? If there's a game that come out that I really want, I buy it. But I don't continuously buy games without completing the games that I have now. Because my backlog is crazy. So I'm not going to keep buying games as soon as they come out just because there's a game out. No, I want to beat what I have first and then move on, and then I'll pick something else up that I may want. And I do that sparingly every now and then. But what is this, though? Why does it exist? Why weren't you working on The Last of Us 3? Give us some closure to that. Because if they're showing us this trailer here, more likely than not, I would like to think that they're more than 50% complete with this game, or maybe even more. Who knows? I don't even know when this is even coming out. It hasn't even gotten a release date or anything like that. So that means to tell me when The Last of Us 2 came out, nah, you might have worked on The Last of Us Factions and then quit that. And then you could have got on The Last of Us 3 and started working on that. But it tells me that you started working on this. And I'm not saying that this might not be a great game, right? It might be a really good game. But at the same time, okay. I'm just saying, Neil, if you don't want the IP, right? If you don't want to continue with the Last of Us universe in the world, and it's something that you're completely done with and you want to move on from, cool, you have every right to. You know what I mean? Again, you have every right to. You created the shit. How about you outsource it? Or you sell off the IP. Outsource it. Let another company come in and make The Last of Us Part 3. You can contribute to the story, but you don't have to be hands-on with it like you was with the last 2 Last of Us games. Let another company come in. It happens all the time. Companies give IPs to other studios, and they allow them to make the iteration of that game. Or, if you don't want to make The Last of Us 3, and then you don't want to do that, you don't want to give out the license to make The Last of Us 3 to another studio, sell the IP. You don't care. Just sell it. It's going to go for quite a bit. With the TV show being very popular, with the game still being very popular at the moment, sell the IP off. Get what you can get from it and let another studio take over it. But going forward, and this may just be my sentiment, I'm over it. I'm literally over The Last of Us. I'm literally over it. Now that you said that we have nothing to look forward to, I'm literally going to be over that series now. And it's thanks to you for doing that. Such a great IP, still great potential. But if the damn creator doesn't want to create a part 3 to it, what are we the consumers to do? Somebody else will come in, create another game that's similar, and take your spot. That's the way the video game industry works. You can't be a sitting duck for too long and not giving people what they want, and then not expect another studio to come in and say, "Oh, he don't want to scratch that itch. We can scratch that itch for you. Check this out." And that's generally how it goes, man. You know, and that's just my spill on The Last of Us, man. I'm just disappointed in Neil, but this is where we at. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm Troy. This is LTR Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video and thumbs up the video. Costs you nothing. Catch you in the next one. Peace.